What's up, everybody? Welcome to Women's Wrestling Wednesday. I was going to try to do, like maybe my top 20 or whatever women wrestlers. I'm going to do the ones that I met, but I'm going to also mention if they're like in my top 20. So that's was what I'm going to do with this, and just thought it'd be easier. I would have had more pictures of women wrestlers that I met, but like also don't forget, the wrestlers that Hazel Med and Robert Med and all that good stuff. um, so we're gonna start with Nikki Bella. This ain't in order or anything like that. Um, I'm just going by how the pictures are just randomly just on there. So I'm like I said, I may say like this person is in my top 20, but it's not in order. Just to let y'all know. First Nikki Bella, she's in my top 20, and I know some people didn't like it like earlier in her career that didn't do any good. But I say like ever since she returned or whatever, and she really improved, and like she got a lot of fans too, her and Bree, so that's pretty good. So yes, she's in my top 20. Let me just try to move this out the way. Summer Rae, she's not in my top 20, but I thought she was like pretty cool, and like though like she's in the business, like in wrestling business, although she was just on there, I think for like a few years, I believe. Then after that, she stuck with modeling and all that good stuff. So she's doing good at the WWE, but every now and then, they probably ask her to come in for, maybe for the Royal Rumble, or just make an appearance or something like that. So still does that for them. Um, Next up we have, let me let the way, Melina. Um, she would be in my top 20 as well. Like she got her start with with WWE. Like she's with the managed the group M&M, which was pretty pretty cool woman. Pretty nice as well. Um, but like I said, she would be like in my top 20. She may be way up there, to be honest. Next up is Charlotte. Um, what, 13-time women's champion? You won't count maybe 15 if you want to count the 2 times she won the NXT women's title. That's if you want to count that. But I just thought that that time WWE should count times they won their NXT championships and stuff like that too. They should count that. But for Charlotte, everybody hates her, then everybody loves her, and just get that switch feeling. Whereas like like I know she been like kind of shoved down our throats, but like still likable and can be still hateable as well. So that's so it was good, to ooh, sorry, some of that stuff is gonna be popped up. Sorry guys for a second. Let me try to okay get that out the way. Although Maria doesn't wrestle much, but she does pose as a like good manager, and for like the amount of time she wrestled, she makes it interesting. And yeah, why not? For you guys out there, she posed for Playboy, so I know that probably gets some of you guys happy. Can't tell you what year because I don't remember. I just know it was like around like the 2000 decade, so between 2000 2010. So look for that. Um, but she probably would have been if she probably would have been in my top 20 if she like wrestled more, but she probably like maybe one of the top managers or manager, whatever. But then again, she won the 24/7 title. So why not? Right. So yeah, I'll add her to my top 22. Okay. Hold on, slow down. Free Bella. Yeah, like what you like expect is when she was winning on her own, she had a crowd behind her and stuff like that. And yeah, she would be in my top 20 as well. But I know she won like the Divas title once, but maybe like she would have won it like a few times. She probably would be like up there in my top 20, but it's not her fault, but it's the company. But yeah, what you expect. Although this is like a group picture, but Alexa Bliss, of course, the blonde, of course. Where her what in the world? I guess Alexa was talking to me, so I don't know if she was saying something maybe about Easter, but who knows? But Alexa Bliss, although they're not doing anything with her right now, kind of sucks. But she was on that thing, like kind of like with the Charlotte thing. You can love her or hate her, but she's not, pushed down our throats like to the moon or anything like that. So that's a good thing. And hopefully she returns and come back in wrestling. And she did just got married, but hopefully she comes back really soon. Probably like after her honeymoon, but we'll see. She is in my top 20. So no, of course the next one is Becky Lynch. That's just so wrong. What they just show on TV. But anyways, Becky Lynch, she was, she didn't win any, titles in the NXT, but called her up and ended up being like, multi-time, like along with Charlotte and Ronda, she main evented WrestleMania and ended up winning both Raw and SmackDown Women's titles. Although she's also the first ever SmackDown Women's Champion. And she recently lost her Raw Women's title to Bianca Belair. So Becky Lynch will be in my top 20. So yeah, let me slow down. Slow down a little bit. God. If she was still around in WWE and stuff, she probably would still be dominating. She may end up being the first woman to be, world champion. She's in my top 20 as well. And it's just too bad. This picture was like months before she died. And it's kind of sad that, it happened. But women's champion, intercontinental champion, yeah, it's I'm sorry, I'm just lost for words because it just sucks that it was a few months before she died with this picture and stuff. It was at Blizzard Brawl. So see, she was happy and full of life. but may she rest in peace, and hopefully, she's, find happiness with God. Next one is, of course, Carmela. She would not be in my top 20 is because like she only had like one ring as SmackDown Women's Champion, and also she also recently won tag team, the women's tag team champion. Was a pretty good like little bit to up her resume. Like if I had like a top 30, she'll be in my top 30. But right now, no, she's not in my top 20, which is kind of sad. But they can probably do much more with her. But yeah, I know I'm skipping some. I know oh yeah, well we'll talk about her in a bit. Bailey, of course, with the like gimmick change and all that stuff. I was really in love with the gimmick. No huggable, loving person. But with the gimmick change, like with the ding dong hello and stuff like that. That was just really creative. Been both Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion, and she also won the NXT Women's Champion as well. Plus, she had that good match with Sasha for the things. They had the first ever Iron Women match in NXT, but I think that was the first Iron Woman match that WWE ever had when it comes to the ladies. So yeah, top 20 especially, yeah. Well, of course, this is Lana. Um, she's not with the WWE anymore. She would not be in my top 20, but the way she was, supposed to be like Rusev's manager and all that stuff, although they're actually together. But yeah, she where she's cute, and with the managing and all that stuff, and had that, plus I had that Russian accent. It was just, she really made that character on her own. But then again, they, start pushing her, to wrestle and stuff like that. And it's like they didn't, they should have like worked with her more on her wrestling. But she's not my top 20. But maybe if I had like a 40, she'll be in it. Oops, sorry. ODB. Of course, when they had the women's tag team at the time, well, I know they got it now, but they had it back then too. Either before they stopped it and just starting like rolling with it. But and plus, she's a multi-time knockouts champion. Had her start on Tough Enough. I think it was the very first Tough Enough, and yeah, with the gimmick, with the ODB gimmick, it was pretty good. It got along well with the guys too. It's like she's a drinker and all that stuff, and probably outdrink anybody type of gimmick, which is pretty good, and it was very likable with everybody. So that's pretty cool. Rebby Sky. She mainly wrestled in the indies, but she hasn't wrestled much when she was like in a call up, like when she was with TNA at the time. She didn't wrestle that much, but wrestle in the indies. Sadly, she's not in my top 20. But if she would wrestle more on, or WWE wouldn't have her wrestle besides like making these appearances and stuff like that, maybe she would be, but maybe top 40, but not in my top 20. Emma. aka her real name Tennille Dashwood. She's like a brunette now, and now she's a current knockouts tag champion. Um, she had a good match with Paige when it was for the NXT Women's Title. I thought her gimmick was pretty good. She was like, she had the clumsy gimmick, which I thought was pretty good, and partly, I guess, like people in the back didn't see that working and wanted to elevate her, so kind of like I'm cooler than everybody gimmick that she had going on before she started going to Impact. But she's not in my top 20, but in my top 30 she would be, but not top 20, only because I think she didn't do enough for me to say she would be in my top 20. But I know, kind of sucks, but no, it was just been cool if she would have, like I said, WWE would have done more with her, or even if team, Impact, I should say, would have done more. Like they had, her solo run and stuff was pretty good, but it just wasn't good enough. But I thought her best gimmick was a clumsy gimmick. Got everybody over, but people in the back wanted to change the gimmick, and the results wasn't good. Oh, not yet, not yet. We will talk about her, but not yet. I apologize. Mia Yin, she's one of my favorites. Of course, mixed, half black, half Asian. I think like they gave her a little bit of run, but they didn't give her a bit of a run when she was in. She got called up. Like they didn't do anything with her, and but I saw her when she was in TNA when she was Jade. She was a former knockouts champion and did some indie stuff too. But it would have been cool if if she was called up by WWE, she would have did more. But I like her stint in NXT, although we was expecting way more. But Vince McMahon don't know what to do with people, sadly. But yeah, anyways, but she'll be my top 20. Rhea Ripley, former NXT champion, former NXT UK women's champion, and former Raw women's champion, and also was a former women's tag team champion. So yeah, she did a lot, travel around the world and stuff, and like in the beginning, when she was like in that I think she was in that Mae Young tournament that they had, and she got compared to like looking like Charlotte, which I didn't see the resemblance, and I still don't see the resemblance. Maybe because when she had the blonde long hair, they probably compare her to it. Then she cut her hair and made her own like kind of gimmick, like the goth type. So yeah, top 20 for sure. Bianca Belair. What else is there to say? Had a good stint at NXT, and she, you know, didn't win. She didn't win the NXT title or anything like that, but still, she managed, to win the Raw Women's Champion and SmackDown Women's Champion. And she main evented WrestleMania last year for the SmackDown Women's Champion. So, first African American women's that got to main event WrestleMania, her and Sasha Banks. Um, And recently she just won. She's currently the Raw Women's Champion, and she won that at WrestleMania. So yeah, it's you know amazing and pretty athletic. And Mike was impressed where she did the 450 splash off the second rope. So he will never forget that. Okay. Okay, slow down, slow down, slow down. Rowdy Ronda Rousey. Um, of course, current Raw Women's Champion. Maybe the fastest rising star in WWE. Debut WrestleMania with Kurt Angle going against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon in 2019, and no, at SummerSlam in 2019. Wait, 2018. I'm sorry. In SummerSlam 2018, she won the Raw Women's Champion at SummerSlam, defeating Alexa Bliss. Um, I think she's like the first female that well, I wouldn't say like maybe the first female in WWE, that transferred to MMA from UFC to WWE and actually won a women's title. So she was the first to do that. And no, she didn't like get NXT and stuff. And seemed like she'd been, practicing wrestling for a while, to get on the level of the other women wrestlers and stuff like that. So, but yeah, she'd be my top 22. So, although, she had a little break and stuff like that, then, came back at the Royal Rumble, won the Royal Rumble. And sucks that she didn't win the SmackDown Women's Champion at WrestleMania, but maybe she'll win it at WrestleMania Backlash. So we only hope because they need to get off of Charlotte. Let's see. Oh nope, sorry. No, I just thought that was somebody else. Well, Mandy Rose. Of course, she was in NXT, then got called up. Didn't win like any titles or anything like that, but up in the running with her and Sonya Deville for the you know women's tag team titles, and everybody liked her and like attractive she is, but now she's a kind of like she's a brunette now, and she also is the current NXT Women's Champion because they called her down, and I guess she like changed her look and wanted to do something different, so she did, and she is top 30, yes, but she probably will be like number 21 on the list, but top 30, yes. Although the picture is kind of blurry, but that is Jessica Havoc. Former and knockout tag team champion. Like a good brawler in the wrestler for her size. Like she can probably also can keep up with the men as well if you like give her a chance. But yeah, that's besides like the indie promotions she's been going to. She also been doing impacts, impact wrestling. Hasn't hasn't won the singles title yet, but hopefully, one day she'll get that chance. Not top 20, but maybe top 30. Sorry. Yes, yes, yes. Um, Although some people are gonna hate me for this, but Mickey James would be number one on my list. Although I know some people ain't gonna like it, but this is my list, not theirs. I know there's probably something I ain't gonna like on their list, so whatever. But Mickey James would be number one. Multi-time women's champion, multi-time Divas champion. It would be cool if she would have won, one of the Raw or SmackDown women's titles when she was in WWE. Also, she was a multiple knockouts champion as well, so we can't forget that. Ended up doing a show last year about where NWA will like all the women wrestlers were involved. So like she just produced it. She didn't like be active in it, which was a smart move on her part. But if she was like put in a match, she would have, probably wouldn't have involved herself with a title match or anything like that. But don't forget the very first all female pay per view they done. She was in that too. But I guess for WWE that was a one time thing, which is kind of foolish. I would have done it like once every year for all women's pay per view, but well, WWE doesn't think. Of course they. Well, you know what? Of course they don't, because like they got the fans thinking for them. And hey, you know what? I got a share in WWE, so I did vote it recently on like who I was for or against for for people that take over the votes and creative and stuff like that. So I'm not going to say what I voted for, but y'all probably would get the idea. Like I said, she would be number one in my top 20. No kidding. Sonya Deville. Um, she did a little bit of mixed martial arts. Of course, also lesbian, but I know I shouldn't have thrown that on there. But a little like she's more of like butt kicker and stuff like that. With her style for the wrestling, whatever. But it's like she was more of that, but now she's in the official position in WWE now for the that's probably like for the storyline. So she's like a part-time wrestler, mostly with the official and stuff like that. But I think they probably gonna end up putting her in full time too after what she just did this past Monday, if y'all seen it. But yeah, crazy enough. Oscar. Top 10. Yes, top 10. Was undefeated until I think it was a certain WrestleMania where she lost to Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Champion. She did finally won it, but she didn't like go, didn't like go towards, came in with the SmackDown Women's Champion and with a, just crazy. But she was also, had that feud with Bailey and Sasha Banks. Had the opportunity to fight for either champion, but she was the Raw Women's Champion, and could have had well, mainly what it was. Let me try to explain it. Um, like Money in the Bank, she did win it. But we know with Becky Lynch situation that she had to leave because she was having a baby. So for her surprise, she ended up being Asuka ended up being the Raw's Women's Champion instead. Having the number one contender for that match with her Money in the Bank. So ended up being Raw Women's Champion. I think she is two-time Raw Women's Champion and a former SmackDown Women's Champion, and also a tag team women's tag team champion, I should say. So yeah, she definitely in my top 10 too. I would have put her there. It's kind of a little blurry, but I apologize. Tanya Valkyrie. I know I need to get another picture of her when I get the chance. But short stint at NXT, and then they was about to call her up and they end up firing her. which is kind of stupid. But now she's back in Impact. Former Knockouts champion, and I think she hold it. I think she was the second longest to hold the Knockouts title. So she was like, she was women's champion and well Knockouts champion while her husband John Morrison it was uh TNA champion. So I don't know if they were the first couple to do it in TNA, but not sure. Yeah, she would be in my top 20. Sarah Logan, if only they would have done more with her, it would be something. But yeah, not in my top 20 because they didn't do much with her. Looked like she was in the running, becoming, maybe a tag team champion with Liv Morgan. But you never know. JoJo. She is actually pretty good, but it's like they didn't use her that much. But she was mainly was used for, just ring announcing stuff like that. And yeah, kind of sucks that she didn't excuse me, she didn't wrestle more because she can go. Like I just had to have her like as an honorable mention because she was that good. If y'all seen that I think it was like either a Raw or a WrestleMania that she like she was in a tag team match and they just didn't really, use her enough. But she's just an honorable mention, that's all. I can't believe I forgot. God. I am bad with names. I'm sorry. Eva Marie. There we go. Um, she's another honorable mention, but although she knows how to get the crowd not liking her, and some of her think she's not that good, but I say she's okay, but she's not the worst or anything like that. But yeah, just another honorable mention with her. Another top 10, Naomi. Um, two-time SmackDown Women's Champion and also currently WWE Women's Tag Team Champion. Yeah, she can do it all, but we was hoping one day she ended up being, the Raw Women's Champion. But I guess she still got time in her hands. But hopefully, one day that might happen. Like I said, it's a very good wrestler. She definitely will be in my top 10. Uh, I know that's Renee Young, but we're gonna skip her. Vicky, we're gonna skip. Rosa Mendez, although they didn't, do much with her, but like it seems like they made her had her there for eye candy, but she can wrestle decently. But another honorable mention, and she would have done more. Maybe, she probably would have been higher than that. Layla, I think she was a 2005 Divas Search winner. Um, she, I think she been the Divas. Yeah, she been the Divas champion, which was pretty good. Probably in my top 30, but I think she was in there a little bit longer. She probably would have did great as well. But that's just my thing. She would have been there a little longer. Yeah. Not gonna talk about Linda Kay, although she's on the pictures of here. Chelsea Green. top 20. It's just too bad she didn't have that much of a chance in WWE. But I'm follow her from she was in TNA as called, the hot mess, and she went through a different name, but she was like different and went with a hot mess character and been doing good ever since. She's back in TNA and I mean back in Impact, and also she does a little bit of NWA as well. It just sucks she didn't get that much of a chance in WWE that they didn't give her one. So their loss. Top 10, especially Jordan Grace, probably one of the strongest women in the wrestling industry. She was the first ever Impact's social media champion. And of course, she won, the Knockouts champion and also tag team champion. And on this show, on this one, she like maybe what was like in May last year, she won the Zelo Pro Women's title, and she was champion at that time. And yeah, she got a bit of a resume for herself. So she's one of my favorites, and of course, she would be in my top 10. Probably number two, Medusa, aka Alundra Blaze. WWE Women's Champion, where was WWF. They didn't do main. I know she was doing some stuff in NWA, so which is cool. Um, and she had that reign for like women's champion and stuff on WWF, WWE, wherever you want to call it, and went to WCW. They really didn't do much with her, which kind of sucked. So who knows what she would have done for the company, especially for the women's division, because they really didn't do that much with the women's division. And I think that's like kind of a flaw that they had in WCW. But yeah, top 20. Rebel. She's currently in AEW. She's an honorable mention because I wouldn't say she just got started or anything like that, but she probably was doing indies before she did AEW. But I don't know, maybe like see her like with a title run or something like that. Maybe will change, but she's right now just an honorable mention and a nice person too. Gail Kim, yep, top 20. Um, they're multi-time knockouts champion and also WWE Women's Champion. Although it's just for that one time, and they didn't, put it back on her since when she made her second stint in WWE, which I really don't get when people go away, then when they come back, WWE treats them like trash. So it's like, what's the point of coming back if you're gonna like treat the person like trash? I really don't get it, but yeah, top 20. Deborah, one of the best managers, female managers out there, like Maria. Yeah, she was really like out there like with one of the best, female managers that was out there besides, Sherry, and it was a few others too, but right now I just can't remember by name. Sunny was another when she was a manager but didn't wrestle. So yeah, she's one of the favorite female managers. Sorry, it's just not coming on. Terry Reynolds. But it's kind of like a manager the Gold does, but know they were together, and she actually did some wrestling and stuff like that. One of my favorite people, but she's an honorable mention too. Um, when she was in that era, when they did, the swimsuit contest and show a little bit of wrestling and stuff like that, out there for the eye candy. Yeah, but you know what I'm getting at. Rachel Aaron didn't have that much of a shot in WWE because they didn't, really give her one, but I think she did Wow, I believe. She was on that program and she was with Impact when she did win the, you know, knockouts, you know, tag champion with Jordan Grace. Very nice person. And she's like a Bucks fan too, so that's pretty cool. Um Top 30, yes. Right now, top 20 because I didn't see her do much as of yet. So I would say she will be in top 30 of mine. Uh Sorry. Zarly. WWE doesn't know what the hell to do with her. She's an honorable mention because like if she get like that glass ceiling and they let her, have a run in the company and stuff, like she got called up, like late last year and they still, don't even know what to do with her. She did a dark match on SmackDown. I think it was her and Aaliyah, which she is another Aaliyah's another favorite, but yeah, like I love the current gimmick she's in right now, but I'm just sucks that they're not doing you know much with it. But yeah, honorable mention. And for now, last but not least, Raquel Gonzalez. Now they're calling her Raquel Rodriguez. I don't get it. NXT tag champion, um, former NXT women's champion as well. And as you see, she's like as tall as me. And yeah, she recently got called up and can't wait to see her do big things on SmackDown. And who knows, maybe she'll be the one that probably will be Charlotte or Ronda Rousey, depending on which one of them will win at WrestleMania Backlash. But can't wait to see what they do with her. Hopefully it'll be great things, but we'll see. um that's like all the women's photos I had. I had more, but unfortunately my other page got destroyed, well, got banned and stuff. So otherwise, I would probably would have had a little bit more pictures. It would have been cool. So that's one of my favorite women wrestlers, and some of them I know that people don't like, and some of them they do. So y'all comment below, like, what's your opinion on my top 20? But there's more of this could be my top 20. There's Trish Stratus, there's Lita. I wouldn't say Sunday would be in my top 10, so she'd probably be my top like managers and stuff. Awesome Kong, another. Um, just it's just like a lot more. Jacqueline is another. She'll be in the top 20. So yeah, so those just mentions, like I don't have pictures with them, at least like not yet. Hopefully I get a chance. I did have a pic with Lita, but that fortunately got lost on my other page, so nothing I can do with that. But hopefully, she's gonna be in C2E2 in August, her and Trish. So hopefully I can, get a chance to do a meet and greet with them. So yeah, awesome. But that's pretty much it. Thank y'all for watching and listening. Although it sounded like it was like maybe a little bit boring. I apologize. Next week we're probably gonna jump back into the videos and stuff like that. So watch out for that. Probably by the time this goes up there, probably like a little after 12:30 Central Time. So I apologize if this, go on there a little bit late. But until the next video, y'all have a good night and see you guys on here next time.